Welcome to the 2024 ICD-10 CM tabbing video. I just got my 2024 book. I also have a 2023 book that I only have one tab on, and I ordered tabs. Now, there is no difference in how to tab the book from 2023 to 2024 because it is the exact same chapters and the alphabet has not changed. But I've heard so many people say that they don't like the tabs that come in the book, so I bought some tabs on Etsy so we can compare how these are versus the one that comes in the book. As you can see, I have not opened them, so this is going to be my real reaction as to these tabs. Now, if you remember my last tabbing video, I said to grab a drink because this is going to take a while, so I have hot and cold options for myself. Oh hey, as you're going through this video, I'm going to show this all in real time how I am going through these tabs. If you want to speed it up, there's little buttons on YouTube that you can accelerate the speed or slow it down. So if you need to pause or make it faster, I'm also going to list the chapters below of where I am and what I'm doing so that you can skip through the video if you need to. So here are the 2024 tabs that came with the book. If I look at them, they are, I just want to double check, exactly the same as the ones from 2023. Now, to help yourself out, if you're going to use the tabs that come in the book, just take them out of the book, rip them out, and you will have them easier to access versus trying to flip back and forth and take them out while you're placing them somewhere. When we look at these tabs, we can see all of them are yellow. They're not color-coded. You would think maybe respiratory would be blue and cardiovascular would be red, but these are all yellow. But the bonus of these is you already have them. You don't have to do anything extra. And if you wanted to add little symbols or something on them to identify faster, you could. But let's take a look at the ones that I bought on Etsy. Oh, okay, so these are multiple pages, and they're all bundled together here in a little Ziploc baggie. There is a whole kit put together. They have paper clipped them together. So here is our A through Z's, which are the same as kind of these on the ones that are included in the AAPC edition of the book. Now again, I should probably clarify. I have the AAPC editions of the book. I get them because I think they are suited for AAPC examinees. They put things in there to help the examinees of AAPC exams. If you have an Optum or a Bucks or an AMA edition, you may or may not have tabs included. I'm not sure what all editions do and do not include tabs, but you can make your own if you want to get your own tabs. You just can't use sticky notes as tabs, or you can buy these like I have here on Etsy, but they are, I think, in the $30 range to purchase. So these tabs, you can see, do just have a little piece of adhesive here versus these tabs that come in the book have a very large clear section that you place that clear section in. So there's a little bit more adhesion length into the ones that come with the AAPC edition versus the ones purchased off of Etsy. Now I'm curious to see with all of these tabs if there is kind of a recommended placement sheet of where to put them. Okay, so this is helpful. This is an alignment guide that they included of where to place the tabs, which you do not get with the version that comes in the AAPC book. So where I am getting slightly confused is they talk about these top tabs. So I'm trying to figure out which ones are the top tabs. It looks like they have stripes on them. So those are the tabs. Okay, so these are they mark them. These are side tabs, and then they have top tabs. Okay. And then they have an alignment grid of where to place them. So that is very helpful. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my 2023 book, and we're going to go ahead and go over the ones that come with the book. And we're going to put those in 2023 so I can show you what that looks like. I am going to bookmark the video to where these other versions are. So we're going to put those in my 2024 book. Now, again, I'm not a big tab person. I have this one little almost bookmark tab in my book. And the 2023, 2024 versions are identical as far as how you would tab them. And for the record, the version that I bought of these tabs is the AAPC edition. So on Etsy, you can find tabs specific to the edition that you purchased. Some of the books do have different appendices or are laid out slightly differently. And I do want to mention that don't stress out about tabbing your books. Again, I don't even tab my books because I find it more cumbersome when I'm trying to look for pages with all of my fingers and all those things in the way. I also sometimes kind of don't like the way these feel. You'll never be graded on how you tab your books. You will never be thrown out of an exam for tabbing incorrectly or them not being lined up correctly. Again, the only thing is you can't use like a Post-it note or something where you're supplementing information as a tab. There are Post-it tabs that you can use, but not like a 3.5 by 3.5 Post-it note as a tab. The guidance from the AAPC basically says it clearly has to be there because you're bookmarking a page, not to supplement information. Now, one of the strategies you can do is if you're like, oh my God, you know, I'm having trouble, I can't align them all correctly. You can just like space one here, one here, one here, one here, one here, one here, and then start over again, kind of, you know, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. There's no necessarily right or wrong way to do this. Now, I think that I'm going to try this year to put my alphabetic listing on top of my book. All right, again, grab your beverage of choice. Feel free to make it a strong one if you want. So I'm going to start with my alphabetic index and do those across the top. I'm going to take this out of the way so no one gets confused about my little flag there. Now, one of the things I think I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my A and my Z, and then I'm going to go right in the middle, so that's where the letter M is, and kind of space them out from there. So here is A in my alphabetic index, and then I'm going to do Z. Actually, since we combine W through Z and U through V and Q and R and J and L, that might change that strategy a little bit. So here I'm going to put the last one at the end. And actually it looks like, okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So that means that the middle one would be our JL. So we'll try to put JL right in the middle then. Right about there. And then I'm going to look for my B. And remember, there is no beauty competition for the best tabbed ICD-10 CM book. B, then we're going to find our C. There's our C. I'm going to put that one right about there. If you want to try and line them up properly, you can maybe do one of these. But again, I know some people want to make this more of an arts and craft project than I tend to, and it really doesn't need to be. And these aren't like stuck permanently. They do kind of come off and re-adhere. So just when you set them the first time, don't do them like super, super sticky. And then if you need to readjust, you can. I can already tell that mine are maybe a little bit further apart than they need to be, and that I might start getting a little tight here now. But keep in mind, having that tab placed 1 millimeter closer is not going to make you code any faster or know any extra answers to the exam. But if it's going to bother you to the point that it's going to distract you, by all means take the time and fix it. This is about your comfort level because it's your book. So we're at F, now we're placing G. I'm going to put my G here on my G page. G, H. Sometimes it's actually better to just get them placed approximately and then adjust them a little bit if you feel like maybe you didn't do it quite right, and just be very, very gentle pulling them off and replacing them. I almost missed my H. Did you see that? G, H. So H. I starts over here. Now just keep in mind, you want all of the tabs to be facing upward in this direction. So don't stick them over here, don't try to flip them around, make sure you're sticking them all on the right hand side down. Yep, that one's a little off, we'll put it there. All right. So here's all my tabs. You can see that I have a little bit of overlap here, so maybe I'm just going to go ahead and take that E and just move it over just a little bit so it doesn't overlap quite as much. We'll just peel that off right there, real gentle, and put it over a little bit more. And then that F, you can move over a little bit because it's right there on top of the G. All right, so that's a little bit better. They're not too far off of each other. Now I could take the time, of course, and move these over a little bit, but for me, I think they're okay. Again, you can adjust them, just be real careful pulling them off. And another thing to think about is if you're going to be carrying these books around and transporting them, these are going to get mushed up in your backpack and stuff anyway, so be careful if you want to keep your tabs intact. Okay, so now we're at JL. My next one out of here is M. So I'm going to look for my M. Where do the M's start? The M's start up on this page. But again, I'm not going to put the tab here. I want everything to be aligned up on the right-hand side. So we're going to put the M over here. So here's our M. Again, we can line this up with our next tab if we want, kind of go up right like that. And you can even just stick the pages down if you want and kind of use that way to adhere them, and then readjust from there if you want. So we got our M's. Next we're going to look for our N's. So over here, M, N, necrosis, N. If you found your N's, that's where you're going to put it right there. Line them up as to your preference. And then there's our N. Here's our O's. They start here. So again, you can just flip the page over, kind of open it up a little bit, stick that in. Align it, push it down, and then if you want to adjust it a little bit from there, you can go ahead and do that. It's kind of like doing a Bob Ross painting. I'm going to show you how to do it, but your results can be a little bit different. If you want to put the happy little tab somewhere else, you can put the happy little tab somewhere else. P, and then as you're going through, you can pick up a little bit of speed. Did I miss my Q's? Q, R, oh, I'm going to P. P, oh, I did, right there. Okay. So here's our P. QR. And then we've just got ST and U and V. QR, S, splenomegaly, stricture. Oh. Sequela, sepsis, scoliosis, rickets. Okay, we're getting closer. Sarcoma, there we go. So here is our S. And then T. See, I can tell already they're going to be a little bit of overlap. T. Here's syndrome, syphilis, and then we're over into our T's. So I'm just going to put my tab right there. And then my last alphabetic index tab is the UVs. And those go right there. Okay, so now I have my alphabetic index tabbed. Is it perfect? No. Are they all there? Yes. If you want to adjust from here, because you would look at something like this and it would drive you crazy that they're not all perfectly aligned, feel free to do that. Now let's see, where do I want to put these? Because look at what we have left. We have the guideline symbols, exam prep, anatomical alpha illustrations, and the alphabetic index. Then we have neoplasm table, table of drugs, external causes, tabular list, and then the codes with what letter they start at in the tabular. So I think what I'm going to do is just start going through and see how I kind of like the way I have them laid out when I do them this way. So here is the start of our guidelines for coding and reporting. I guess I'll put that right there. And let's see, symbols. Here's our symbols and conventions. So this goes on the page that says symbols and conventions. And then after that, we have anatomical illustrations. I don't know where the exam prep is. Oh, I stand corrected. There is a slight difference from the 2023s and 2024. There's one that says exam prep and one that says instructs. Now let me see, because I could have sworn there was an exam prep section in 2023. I don't know where it is though. So I just searched the 2023 and 2024 ebooks for exam prep, and it doesn't say anything about them finding the words exam prep, so I'm really not sure what that tab does, so we're just going to leave it to the side for now. But I did notice that slight difference. This one says exam prep, and this one instead says instructs. So I don't know what, I guess maybe once is the instructions, and I don't think they're going to be super essential, to be honest with you. All right, anatomical illustrations right there, and alphabetic index, we're gonna put right around there. Okay. Next, we have our B codes, A codes, tabular list, external cause, table of drug, neoplasm table. Okay, so those are gonna go at the end of our alphabetic index is our table of neoplasms. So I'm going to kind of put that over here, alphabetic index, and then neoplasm table, put right there. I'm going to have after that the table of drugs and chemicals. So here's our table of drugs, and I'm going to put there. And again, don't worry too much about if they're in the right spot or not, because you can pretty easily move these. Table of drugs and chemicals. After that, we have our external causes. So we're going to take our external cause tab, and we're going to put that there for our external causes of injuries. And then we're going to get into our tabular list. So I'm going to mark that the tabular list starts here. And then I'm also going to start going down my A, B, C, D, E, Fs of my chapters. Now I think what I'm going to do is, I know I can't fit all of these this way, so instead of trying to squeeze them all in, I'll maybe put half of them down and then the next half for down the side. So in addition to having the tab here, because this is where our tabular list starts, we're also going to put our letter A here. Where you might want to put that tab, though, in the 2024 edition is maybe you want to stick it way back here where your notes are, so you can keep track of where your notes are for the book. But I'm wondering if it's supposed to maybe go here, how to use the ICD-10 CM book, and that tab is supposed to go there. So that is the tabs for the included ones for 2023. Again, the only difference between these tabs and for 2023 and 2024 was one of them said exam prep and the other said instructs, and I'm not sure what either of them are supposed to be going to. You can take these, you can still see where they are when I'm looking at the side panel of my book. If you want to organize yours in a way that makes more mental sense for you and allows you to work more efficiently, absolutely do that. Now, let's get out this 2024 book and take a look at the tabs and tabbing system for the Etsy version. This is from Medical Coding Tabs Co. I bought them on Etsy. I paid my own money. I didn't reach out to them and be like, hey, I'm an influencer, give me stuff for free. But I will talk to them if I like this product and I want to recommend it to you, which I have a feeling a lot of you will probably be interested. I will see if they offer any sort of affiliate deals or discounts, but at very least, I will link below where you can purchase them. If you're someone that's into color, this might be more so for you. You can also make your own tabs. I show on my earlier tabbing video on how you can do that, so you can just find out where you want to put your tabs, what colors you want them, and you can certainly make your own. Now the cool thing about this is they do have placement instructions to help you out of where you're putting them. I'm actually going to go ahead and just separate these. I'm glad that they stapled them together, but I want them separate for making sure I place them correctly. All right, so here's my top tab placement, and then where are my top tabs? They are here on these two pages. And it looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then after that I put 5, 6, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to start here, and they start with the guidelines. It says place on page G1. So that's great that they have these here. Now, since I purchased the 2023 version, I guess the pages might not exactly line up with what numbers they are, but that's so cool. I think it makes it so much better that there's an actual system where they say, here is the page that you place it on. My pages might be a little bit different because this is the 2023 version, and I'm using the 2024 book because I wanted to get these a little bit ahead of time. So let's see, here's my guidelines. I'm going to put that right there. This makes it so easy. And then next is my anatomical illustrations. Cool. Anatomical illustrations. So those are over here. And we're going to align those right there. And next, I wonder how easily these come off if I need to. See, these come off real easily too if you need to adjust them. And they're a little bit sturdier. They have a little stronger backing than the ones that come with the book. These are kind of a little bit more flimsy. This has a little bit more of a sturdiness to it, just slightly. Plus, they're longer, so they're not gonna curl up and bend, I think, as easily as these would. So next then is our index. So I'm going to follow my guide here, put that right on there. And then table of neoplasms is the fourth one. Table of neoplasms over here. Again, I just take my guide and I can put that right there. Okay. Again, I am not as huge into making this the insane arts and crafts project that some people do, but if you want to, that's absolutely fine. Okay. Next we have our table of drugs and chemicals. Okay, so it says rotate these so they're facing upright and then put this on my table of drugs and chemicals. So this goes here. Okay, and then external causes of injury. The font on these is a lot bigger too, so if you're someone who struggles with your close-up reading, this might be a good option for you. External causes of illness and injury. Here's my guide of where these go, and that goes right there. I just realized I think I've been keeping mine a little bit further back because I was kind of going like this, but I guess it kind of lines up here on the edge. And then the last top tab I have here is my Appendix A. Which is my long-term drug use. Okay. So my appendices. Appendix A. Which is actually not terribly far off page number wise from 2023 to 2024. Now, I've been placing mine a little bit further down, which means that maybe not all of this is going to stick out. So try to kind of, I guess, keep them so that you can see the label from the outside of the pages. I've not been super diligent with that. Okay, so that is all of my top tabs. Next, I have the side tabs. Again, very nice, color coordinated, thicker. They say instead of just the letters, it's the chapters. So we're going by, this one says infectious and parasitic diseases, and it's A00 through B99 versus these, which are just the letter of the code. top tabs I got, and then here's my side tabs. I'm not sure if I want to put these in first or my letters. So we have top tabs to put in, and there's the placement guide that I did for those. Here are the side tabs. And then I'm losing all of my stuff here. My placement guide for the side and the placement guide for the letters. So let's do my letters, and then we'll do the chapters. Okay, so here's my guide for them. For those of you that are worried about your alignment, this is a fantastic resource out there. So we're going to start here. Here is going to go my A. And then we're going to go right to our B. Again, if I go too fast for you, you can go ahead and pause the video. If I am going too slow, you can speed up the video. So here's our B. B. Our letter C is over here, starting with cachexia. A, B, C. It'd be great if instead of just placement, they put the letters down here so that I know where I'm putting them. I actually might write them in myself. Just so that I don't lose my place, and apologize for my terrible writing. Oh, A, B, C, D, E, oh my gosh. F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Okay, now I won't lose my spot. Whew. Now we're going to find our D. And we're going to look for our D. Here's our D right there. Going to stick that in to that spot. Next is our E codes in the alphabetic index. Diseases that start with the letter E as their key term. Oop, 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 almost lost it. There we go. Here's our E. Med coding tabs co. If you're watching this, put those letters there so I know where I'm putting them. E, F. F. Next is our G. I feel like this is going a little bit faster than the others, and I feel like I have more structure using these. I'm starting to see why people like like these versus the ones that come with the book. I think if I was taking the CPC exam so far and I had the money to invest, I would probably get custom tabs. Now we're going over to our J codes, or our J diseases, I guess. H-I-J, there we go, jaundice. One of the things I like too about tabbing the books when you're just starting out is that it helps get you familiar with where everything is, right? Because if you go through the act of tabbing your book, you have to find out where everything is. So it looks like for 2024, J and K are on the same page. Oh, that's a little cross-eyed. This is peeling down. There we go. That's a little bit better. J, K, L. So here's my L. M. M. Now we're going to look for our N. N as in Nancy. And we'll put our tab on the N. If you haven't taken a water break, drink break, wine break, make sure you pause the video and do that if you need to. Here's my O. O. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead real quick and grab a little drink myself. I'm having pumpkin spice, hot coffee, and cookie dough cold brew. Because I'm kind of in between that weather here, where it's September, we're getting our books ready for October 1 ICD-10 CM new codes, and the weather's kind of in between, where it's like, do I drink hot coffee or do I drink the cold coffee? Why not both? There's our P. And Q is next. It looks like Q and R for the 2024 are on the same page, so I'm going to do both of them. So Q and R are both on the same page, and that's fine to have two tabs on the same page. That is absolutely fine. You don't need to move one or do anything crazy there. You can go ahead and have two tabs on the same page if you need two tabs on the same page. There is no rule saying you can't. Next, we're going to get our S. We're going to put the S right there. We're getting closer. We're towards the end. You can see there's our table of neoplasm, so we're getting pretty close to the end here. T. There we go. Man, this little alignment key, gotta tell you, super, super handy. Really enjoying it. Just like I enjoy it when you like and subscribe to the channel. I also like it when I make helpful videos like this and someone tells me, my teacher put this video in our class, so that we can all learn how to tab our books. Or I also like when you share it with your friends. We're getting close to the end here. We're at our W's. All of our W wound codes. W. X, Y, and Z are all on the same page. Hey, how about that? And again, no rule saying we can't have 3 tabs on the same page. We could have just made one tab that says X, Y, and Z. We didn't. Maybe our brain works better when we have them all separated. Because maybe if it said X-Z, I would forget about Y. Who knows? All right, so that's all done. Look how pretty that is. Aligned very well, if I do say so myself. Now, the next side tabs that we have, I think, a directory for, where did I put it? Side tab, side tab, side tab. And here is the side tab directory. So first we do this side, and then we rotate it, and then we do the rest of them. So they are all in order: infectious diseases, neoplasms, blood forming, and then down to our Z codes, and then our U codes. So unlike the other one, where we have the U and it kind of is like, okay, well, we have to, do we want to put this last or put this before, because the chapter 22 is not in alphabetical order. They're just like, hey, this is where it is, and this is where we're putting the tabs. Done. So we're going to start with our infectious and parasitic diseases. And again, I like this because it starts getting you familiar with what's in here and what the starting letter for these different chapters are. We're going to align here, right? So here's my infectious and parasitic diseases, and it's going to go right there on the alignment grid. Next is our chapter 2. Those are a lot of our cancer codes. So if you think C for cancer, and those are our neoplasms. Okay, they're going to go right there. So we're going to have 22 tabs for the 22 chapters. I think the difference between these tabs that I'm noticing so far is like, this is more of almost like a paint by number, right? Like it's going to look exactly the same because you're putting the right things exactly where they tell you to, versus maybe like one of those paint and sips where you're drinking wine and you're putting the paint approximately where it's supposed to based off of what the instructor. This is like much more of a plug and play type of thing. But again, I wish they had listings here of where these go as well. Instead of just like the lines, I want to remember, because I'm already kind of flipping around here thinking to myself, where did I put the last one? That's the only improvement recommendation I can make. Okay. This here now, I'm going to my chapter 5 codes. Chapter 5 here is mental, behavioral, and developmental disorders. And they are going to go, is this aligned here? See what I mean? If I just had where they were. And I guess I could, if I wanted to, just take the time and go 1, 2, 3, 4 for my different chapters. The nice thing too about these tabs is, like, let's say you're taking the exam and there's a question specifically to mental health. You can look at your tab and go, oh, well, I know my mental health codes are my F codes based off of just my tab. So you could even do like maybe a process of elimination there. Although, still a little unclear of the future of the paper code book. I know once we go on to ICD-10, that's definitely not going to be a thing anymore. So we're trying to kind of move into that direction of having ebooks and search tools. So let's see, my G codes are here, diseases of the nervous system. And I think this is where this is going, right? Yes. I'm wondering if I'm wondering if these tabs are supposed to go with the colors, but mine's different because I'm using the 2024 version instead of 2023. Did they change the colors? Like, let's see, chapter 9 is diseases of the circulatory system, and that's blue. Okay, so mine probably look different because maybe they changed the colors. Let's see here. After that is disease of the chapter. Okay, and then here we have H. Diseases of the eye and adnexa. And that's going to go here. We are nervous system and then here. But yeah, I think that's not unintentional. Although mine might be a little bit different maybe because I don't know if they changed the colors at all from 2023 to 2024. It looks like they didn't. Oh, that's kind of cool. I like that. Next is ear and mastoid. And that's going to go right around there. Now, I will say the one difference between the tabs that come in the AAPC edition versus these is, if you'll notice, so when I put this tab in, it's clear. So if I go over this listing here, I can still see it, right? Versus here, now I've kind of covered up part of this listing here of what this chapter is. I mean, I have it on the tab, so I don't necessarily need to have it in both places. But, and plus it'll be, you know, on the next page. But just pointing out that little difference there. Okay. I hope you're doing okay out there, Internet Bestie, placing your tabs on. Let's see here. So now, I think, did we get to the end of the alignment yet? Where did I put my alignment grid? Here we go. Not yet. I'm still working on it. Ear and mastoid. That goes there. I think I got these all right. Gosh, I hope so. And then I have that goes here, right? And then I got one more on this row for respiratory. And I don't think I need the alignment for this. I know it goes right here. There we go. And now, when we get to our next section, after respiratory, which is our digestive, we take our side tab placement, whoop, we flip them, right? Because we're going to put them, we don't want to put them on the exact same spots as these. We want to have them slightly askew. So here is our digestive. That's going to go right there. Next is going to be chapter 12, diseases of the skin and circulatory system. So we're going to take that. I'm sorry, skin and subcutaneous tissue, not skin and circulatory system. My goodness. Skin and subcutaneous. And then we're going to go. There's probably someone out there right now screaming that I'm not putting them on in the most perfect fashion humanly possible. But that's just not me, you guys. Like, I'm probably supposed to align it like right here. I'll do that just so that we're happy about it. And be careful, take good care of your books. They are paper after all. They will rip, they will tear. Speed is great, but you also don't want to become so reckless with your speed that you rip apart your whole book. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then next we have, excuse me, I'm almost running out of battery on my camera because of this video being so long. Now we have pregnancy. And after
After that, for our O codes, our chapter 15 codes that take sequencing priority, we have our perinatal. And they go right here. Right? I got that spaced out correctly? Yes. Okay, good. Double checking myself just to make sure. After our P is our Q codes. We've got Q codes for our congenital anomalies. We're going to space that out right here. That's our perinatals. So now our congenitals go right here. After that is our R codes, signs, symptoms, etc. Signs and symptoms. And then those go here. I feel like I messed this up. Because look, I still got some tabs. Did I mess this up? Did I mess this up? Maybe I was supposed to put it here? No? Yeah, I mean, it's gray here, so I'm assuming that's where that goes. ST. I guess I just flip it back over and then do it again. Yes, then repeat using this side for the remaining. Okay, cool. So here's our S codes. This is right? S, okay, double checking myself. Whew. Thankfully, it wouldn't be permanent. I would be able to pick it back up and put it where I need to. Here's our chapter 20. So now we're going to flip back over and use this side again for the remaining side tabs. Chapter 20. The interesting thing though is it doesn't have the chapter number on it, which I mean, I don't know that you're necessarily going to want to look by chapter number. You're more so going to want to know what letter codes are in there, and what the topic of the chapter is. So 1, 2, and then our last one we have here. Isn't there one more? Yes. Our chapter 22 for our codes for special purposes that we had to add in for vaping disorder and for some of our COVID-19 codes. All right, so that should be it, right? Oh, look at that. I put them in the wrong spot. Look at what I did. I messed it up anyway. How about that? I put this in the wrong spot. This needs to go up here. Whoop. There we go. Definitely fixable. Okay, that's all of them. I got all the tabs on. Check it out. That looks really good. All right, so here is my book that I used, the tabs that came with the AAPC edition in them. You can see they are a little bit flimsy, so if I'm stuffing this into a book bag or a laptop bag, it's going to probably bend a little bit easier. They are a little bit more sturdy than they used to be. They're sturdier than some of the different little flags and things you can stick in your book. So I think these, if you don't want to spend the money, you can absolutely develop whatever system you want that makes sense for you to put these in. So here's your like alphabetic index stuff up here. Again, you can tell I kind of didn't align it very correctly because I didn't have a grid for this one. I was just kind of eyeballing it. And then down here, you know, if I'm looking at this book from my vision, I can see what I need to as I'm kind of fanning through the book. So it serves its purpose. Everything I can see, it is all yellow. It's not as cute and aesthetic, as the ones I purchased on Etsy. I think if you have the budget, I would probably recommend the Etsy tabs or develop your own. I really like the way these are laid out. I think it's easy to see things. I think I can look through my alphabetic index very easily. They seem sturdy, and I like that they are a little bit more color coded so that I can start getting familiar with, oh my gosh, where are my codes for pregnancy? Oh, that's my purple one, my purple pregnancy tab. That's what I'm looking for. You might find that after you've made the initial investment and tabbed them for your exam that you're like, you know what, I like using the digital tools, or I don't need to do this again because I'm not planning on testing again for any other certifications. So it might just be a one-time investment. Overall, I think the clear winner here is the Etsy tabs from Medical Coding Tabs Co. I will link them below in case you are interested in purchasing them. They do have different years editions and different publisher editions available. Those guidelines, like you can't mess this up. Anyway, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, make sure you give it a like, share, and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. And until then, just keep on coding on.